Jeremy, do you remember where Positive TV started? I just moved into the house next door and I discovered that you were at the end of your garden doing positive radio.
Down in my shed,
while I was at the kitchen table trying to write a treatment for a positive news show for television. So we got together and decided we were going to have a stab at this. And then the Dalai Lama came to town.
That was amazing.
So we snuck into the Houses of Parliament pretending to be the BBC, sat there with all those news journalists who were really heavily interviewing the Dalai Lama, and we managed to get the microphone and say, "Mr. Dalai Lama, it's Positive TV," and he went, "Positive TV!" And we got into the Times the next day.
That was the greatest name check a show could ever have had.
Absolutely, and that's where it all began.
We have a lot of reminiscing to do. So do you remember what it was all about in the first place?
Well, I think it was all about my children, really. I really wanted to create a positive world for them, and I was so disturbed by the constant stream of bad news, and I just felt there must be positive news in the world out there that could inspire my children and create a positive future.
When you look at it, we've made upwards of 300 or 350 films.
Absolutely, we've become spontaneous news presenters, which we never planned to do.
No, that wasn't supposed to happen. And oh my God, we've covered so many things. I mean, we've covered from all sort of the big things all the way down to, for instance, you know, from the climate change conference, which was fantastic, where we didn't talk to any of the ridiculous politicians, just all the really sort of cool people who were around there, all the way down to the nice little local things like the Bricks and Pound. Which is a really, really inspiring local project. So I mean, it's been really sort of top to bottom stuff. Oh,
my favourite moment is when we went to the Eco Rally with Boris Johnson, and Zach Goldsmith won in the Tesla motor car, and I spontaneously said, "Zach, can we work with you in the ecologists?" And he said yes. Do you remember?
That was one of our first partnerships. Perfect.
Exactly. And the other things was, well, really the one most important highlight was when we worked with the London Mayor's Office with the London Week of Peace, which was a fantastic week of peace activities around London, and none of the local papers or news agencies actually wanted to report on it. So we reported it all, just us and our little team. And I remember on the final day
it wasn't totally peaceful, was it?
It wasn't totally peaceful, because on the final day of the awards, Baroness Scotland was going to come and present, and she'd just got herself into some scandal. So outside the awards was all the news agencies looking for Baroness Scotland, and I went outside and said, "You should be inside reporting on peace," and they all ran off when we started chasing them with our camera team.
Exactly, but it does give you that feeling about the way media is. I mean, it's terribly negative.
Absolutely, and that's what I really have come out with after 2 years of thinking, is what really needs to be created as an ethical, conscious, positive news agency. What I've been really inspired is by the conversations we've been having in the last 2 years.
And about changing the conversation.
Yeah, changing the conversation and bringing that conversation to our kitchen table, bringing some of the people that were meeting, members of the public, different people, organisations around the table to have kind of a debate about the world we live in.
Well, let's get those people to come down to our kitchen table, the people who are actually leading us. Ask them to take part in this debate right here and now.
Exactly, because the only way we can change the world is co-creation and co-collaboration. We don't have the resources to cover it all ourselves, so we've got to do it with you.
So we're going to sit here at the kitchen table with a glass of wine or a cup of coffee.
And we're going to start inviting people around to have a conversation. So if you want to join us here, or you want to recommend anyone who should join the conversation, we're going to think of hot topics and debates, and we're going to be all happening at our kitchen table.
Coming to you soon.
See you soon.